Hello, hello. Welcome to the Monday night broadcast of Mary's Monday Musings. Oh, I have a couple friends on already. Whew. I hit the button a little bit early because I am just not still comfortable with the slightly modified way that this whole thing works. So I'm trying to. Now I need to turn my camera around. Let's see. Am I going to be able to do that? Oh, it's moved down there. See, I told you I didn't know what I was doing. Hello, everybody. There, that's a little bit better. Oh, well, thanks for tuning in. If you, let me ask the people who are going to tune in for the replay. I know this seems kind of crazy, but if you're a replay person, if you would type in replay, then I'll know whether you watched it live or not. If you're watching live tonight, would you do me a favor and type live? I'd really appreciate it. That way I will be able to just kind of keep track of what's going on after the fact. So how's everybody doing? Barbara, what's the weather like down there? It's been crazy up here. Let's see what I need to do here. There we go. There we go. Hi, Mark. Thanks for joining. We've got a few people. Laura. Got a few people on. That's great. Well, we had, it was raining when I got up this morning. I was kind of bummed because I couldn't sit out on the deck. But I just pulled a chair up to the door and listened to the rain, so that was nice. That was nice. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm kind of excited to talk about this topic tonight, talking about the wilderness, or actually walking out of the wilderness, which is even more exciting. Being in the wilderness is not very exciting. So let's go ahead and get started, and feel free, if you know of anybody that you think might benefit from this, feel free to invite them. Your comments and your likes, etc., push the live out to Facebook. So the more comments I get, the sooner others are aware that I'm on live. So I'd appreciate that too, if you think you want to express that. So like I said, I wanted to talk about the wilderness, walking out of the wilderness. For me, it's been kind of a crazy journey the last few months. And I guess my big thing was I just kind of didn't realize I was in the wilderness. I guess I kind of knew in the back of my mind, but I didn't think of it that way because I was super, super busy with our It Works business, and we really loved that. We loved it all the time that we did it. We chose to have that occupy a lot of our time and energy, and it was great for us. We really enjoyed it. We have since decided to stop being It Works distributors just in the last few weeks. And we're really good customers, though, because we really do love the products, and we use a lot of them. And I don't feel like that time was wasted in that it was keeping me anyway, from doing what I think God intended for me to do. I was being refined during that time. I met some incredible people who are lifelong friends, who shaped me and taught me a lot about myself and about business and about human relations and just a million things. I learned so much, and so I can't regret that time. My only regret is that somewhere along the line I lost my way, and it wasn't just It Works. It started happening way before that, but that kind of filled the void and I think delayed my journey back. And I didn't just wake up one morning and realize that I was in the wilderness. but you all have heard me talk about that fateful trip I made in February down to Orlando. And it was just so eye-opening, and it was, I'm not going to say it was devastating. I don't know the right word, and I should know the word, but I completely was undone as a result of that, in terms of I just had to break things down to the lowest common denominator and take a long, hard look at what was going on, because something wasn't going on the way it was supposed to. And at that point, I don't think I had even developed the thought process enough to realize what I was supposed to be doing, which is kind of what I'd always done, and what I love to do, and what I think God intends me to do. And that is to write, to speak, to do Christian storytelling, to help people, to minister to people, to nurture people. And I was doing that in some capacity, but my writing is the gift that He has given me, and I had all but stopped doing that. Part of it was busyness, part of it was life events, part of it was things that happened outside of our family, in other relationships and situations that we were in, that just kind of, I had just started to just shut down. And I don't really know when it happened or why or how exactly, but it did. And the time that we spent with It Works, I think I filled that void with doing that business. And so it was a hard decision to make when I realized that that's what I had to do. Oh, Laura, thank you. Yeah, Andrea is a gifted writer. She really, she writes in ways that I can't even imagine. So it's great for us to get our heads together sometimes as writers and bounce ideas off of each other. Yeah, Andrea, I believe you're right. I think Laura could write. In fact, everybody on here has some pretty incredible stories to tell. And what I have learned is that you just have to start writing. You don't have to start at the beginning. You don't have to start with today. You write that first sentence, and then it kind of takes on a life of its own. So that's kind of what's happened. It was a very long process of unwinding and untangling a lot of things. I think a few months ago, I couldn't even imagine that I would be back calling myself a writer and speaker again. Because I didn't have the emotional or spiritual or mental capacity. So how about you guys? I mean, have any of you, I know a lot of people, not just specifically you, but a lot of people have kind of been on a similar journey lately. They've either reached out to me personally, or I've noticed them sharing on Facebook. That there just seems to be a lot of people that are kind of in the wilderness. And, it's not a fun place to be. So I guess what I want to share with you is that there's hope to come out of it. I looked up one day and kind of saw in the distance, in my mind's eye, the other side. And that's the only way that I could take that first step. And then the next one. And it started snowballing after a while. Once I cut our ties with It Works as a business, things just, it was like the sky opened up. And okay, now I'm going to do the website, and now and things just started falling into place, and people started coming into our lives that needed to be there at that moment, that had a skill or an ability or a suggestion or some kind of guidance at that particular moment, to let me know that I needed to keep stepping, take the next step. And on Sunday, I'm going to actually launch my website. And nothing's going to change that day. I'm already doing all the things that, that I have talked about. It's just that makes it kind of like official. That's a milestone where I can look back and say on that day, yes, it's a definite confirmation, Laura, you're right. And, God is pushing me. I've started to work on a blog post, and I don't know if I'm going to post it or if I'll just share it here. I may do both. But I was looking for something else. I was actually looking for information about a person who really helped me when I first published my book and really encouraged me as a writer. And I encouraged her and helped her in her ministry as well. And I ran across something about her husband online. And I remembered that he had interviewed me after my book came out. And it was on Blogspot Radio, and I clicked around a little bit, and I was able to download the actual 30-minute recording of the interview. And that's nothing, he was doing it to be nice, but it was a great interview, and I couldn't believe as I was listening to myself be interviewed by him, the confidence that I had. And not a confidence in myself because I was so great, a confidence that I was exactly where I was supposed to be, doing exactly what God wanted me to do at exactly that moment. And it almost made me sad. But then after I got, a couple minutes of feeling really sad and like, oh my gosh, I've gotten so far away, it gave me a milepost to get back to. And so then it kind of excited me. And one of the things I said, he asked me, okay, well, what's next? And I had told him that my plan was to write another book. And I when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, I'd forgotten that I ever said that. And so I was kind of convicted. And so I've said it now. So I don't know. The last one took, 52 years? Took my whole life to write. This one, I don't have that much time for this next one, if there is one. But it definitely gave me something to look forward to and something to strive for. And to kind of keep in mind as I go along. No, God didn't forget, Andrea. You're right. He never does. And that's one of the other things that I just wanted to share tonight. And then I'll close. I don't want to make this all about me. I want this story to encourage others. But what I realized, and of course I knew this, but what I realized looking back at all the things that have happened in the last several years, is that I was never alone in that wilderness. God was there every minute with me, and he never turned his back on me, and never was disappointed in me. He loved me through all of it and let me find my way. And that's ultimate love. That's perfect love, is that every step of the way, even when I was doing what he didn't want me to do, he wanted me to be writing and helping others with their writing and doing the things that I'm set up to do now. That's what he wanted me to be doing. But he was allowing the people that I met and the lessons that I learned to refine me and strengthen me and give me wisdom, so that I could do a better job of that when I finally surrendered to him and to his purpose for my life. So that's the other thing I want to encourage you, that even if you are in the wilderness, please know and believe that you're not alone, that God is always there, and that you should reach out to friends, to other people that you know and trust. Anybody who wants to can reach out to me. And it's been kind of crazy because several people have, and just either made, comments or, really shared some heavy stuff with me just in the last week with this momentum that's picking up over, this new shift, and it's been pretty powerful. And I continue to get affirmations that, the world needs to know this, and there aren't enough of us out there proclaiming that. So that's my conviction. That's my wisdom, God-given, not of my own making, and my encouragement. And I do encourage you all to pursue your dream, own your dream, claim it. And it doesn't matter if anybody else thinks it's right or good or crazy, because God gave you that dream for a reason, because you're the person who's supposed to have that dream so that you can help others in a way that only you can. So once I own that, about the gifts that he gave me, I really didn't have a choice. So now I'm going to be really busy writing and making up for all that lost time. And I have a certain friend, I won't name names, but she's on here, who I've also been urging her. We've been urging each other on over these past few years to get back to writing, and I think we're there now, and it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, thank you all so much. I really so appreciate your tuning in, and I appreciate those who tune in for the replay, because I know that life is very busy, and there's no good night or morning or weekend or whenever that everybody who wants to can tune in. So again, even though this is coming to an end, feel free to share the link with anybody that you think might benefit, and I'll be more than happy to, if you want to follow up in Messenger or offline, I'd be more than happy to do that. So thanks, folks. Have a great week, and I will talk to you next Monday.